Okay, this is a need that we need, and this need is available, maybe, hopefully, possibly.
I want some rest. Are we having fun yet?
All right, we're gonna listen to this one, okay? We gotta actually listen to this one. So Kevin Looney will likely be released by the Golden State Warriors. Let's take a look here. So I went over to Apple Podcasts, and we're gonna listen to what they have to say. This is actually, I think this is Tim Kawakami's. Hopefully that's how you say his last name. This is his pod, I think, in which this is from The Athletic, and he has some people on, and they had some things to say about this whole Looney situation and how he could potentially be available. And you guys know the Spurs need a backup center. I think desperately need a backup defensive center, and this could be the answer to our prayers. So let's listen here.
So I think there's value for him.
No, that wasn't on my headphones. Just talk now.
But again, I don't know. Is it at this point beyond the minimum across the league? And if it isn't, Kevon Looney's the type of guy who could take being cut and being told, hey, come back on the minimum. We know his personality. If he wants to be with the Warriors, he'd be like, all right, I can handle it.
But you don't, if he's a minimum everywhere else except the Warriors. He's not a minimum player for the Warriors. What he means to the Warriors, that you can't look at that and be like, yeah, we pay you what the Wizards pay you. It's like, you can't lean on him in the locker room. You can't, if you're Looney, you're like, if I got a minimum from the Warriors and a minimum from somebody else, I might be so upset that I'm going to take the minimum from somewhere else.
But we also are talking about Kevon Looney, who was once...
That's a little bit of conjecture.
They declined his option once, remember that? Which was basically them saying, you're not worth...
Everybody gets fed up at some point. Everybody...
Yeah. And maybe this is
this
the
was
sum.
a tough year. This was a tough year. This was the toughest season for him. There's no question. He went DMP. There are teams that could use him. I was going to say, we could get further into this. If we're going to talk trades and matching, and I could think of teams that might want him. There's some teams have no backup center.
You can't set this whole thing up around Steph, Clay, and Draymond, right? On some, let's keep the game together. And they're making 130, whatever. Combine 130. A
lot of money.
And they'd be like, Loon, we got 1.5 for you. Nah, he's a part of that. I could see if they were like, all right, man, get out of this deal, and we got a 5.55 for you. Something. You can't come back talking about a minimum for Kevon Looney.
I think there's a chance they cut him and
that's just it. Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
No question.
I think that's, again, we talk most likely. I think that's the most likely, unless there's a trade out there. If they guarantee that contract, I'm still waiting for the trade. I think if they guarantee that contract, I am expecting a trade.
So regardless, what they're speculating here is that either they're going to let Kevon Looney go, in which they don't have that money guaranteed to him, because you can see here that it is locked in June 24th, so they will just let him go before that, or they will go ahead and allow that to happen and then trade him afterward. Regardless, this is good news for the Spurs. I don't know how much or what the Spurs be willing to give up for Kevon Looney. I don't know what teams or what his market would even look like out there. But what I do know is I think that he would be perfect for the Spurs, right? He wouldn't cost a lot of money, but if you have to, spend a few more million, it's not like the Spurs can't afford to do that. 28 years old, so he's over the next few years, he would definitely be during those very impressionable years of Wemby, and that would give us enough time to start to find, even more suitable candidates later on, later down the line. But he's important. He's important nonetheless, and I think that he would help like crazy. I told you guys this many a times, at least this is my opinion. I think that the Spurs need a point guard. Okay, I think most people agree with that. We need defensive wings, at least a couple of them, at least a couple defensive wings. And we also need a backup center, somebody who can play defense suitably. I'm not going to sit here and trash Zach Collins like a lot of other people have. Has he been great? No, but also he's been completely out of position. It didn't work out how we thought it would work out. Him teaming up with Wemby nonetheless. It's just one of those situations where we didn't know until, we tried it, until we got Wemby, and some guys just won't fit and some guys will, And I think right now the only ones that are pretty definite are Trey Jones, Sohan and Fasel, as definite as it gets, right? As far as guys that worked pretty well with Wemby as the season went on. I would say Sohan more so defensively, on the defensive end, both of them gelled quite well. Fasel and Trey Jones on the offensive end, I think gelled with Wemby more so than Sohan did. But I'm kind of rambling. All I'm saying is what we really do need is a guy like Kevon Looney, and with his price tag, with his impact, I think that would be perfect for the San Antonio Spurs. Perfect. So I'm hoping that this is a reality. But nonetheless, I would not mind. I mean, it's not my money. It's not our money, right? But I would not mind the Spurs spending a few extra million to say, hey, Looney, come on over here. And I'm sure that he would actually enjoy being around that hype train that is Wembanyama. And with him being under pretty good coaching under Steve Kerr, I mean, why not go to the guy who taught him everything in Greg Popovich? So I just think it's great. I think this is awesome news. And if there's anybody that could use them, it is the Spurs. And we can go ahead and fill up that part of the roster that we need. And we don't even have to second think it unless they do go ahead and keep them and then try to trade them afterwards. But that might be a little bit of a risk. Who knows? But anyways, you guys let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. But this is some big news, good news. And I really hope that we can make something happen here. I really hope we can make something happen here. Actually, out of curiosity, what are some of the comments? I can barely see because my cat's right in front. You guys can't see. She's right here. See? Right in front of the screen. So I can barely see the screen. Respect to Loon, true warrior. I'll always remember his Game 7 against the Kings, 2022 playoffs, playing 2019 finals with cracked ribs. Let's see. No, not Loon Dog. Get rid of Trey and Clay. Keep him. He innocent. Suns, Mavericks, Lakers. Okay. Nobody in the comments talking about the Spurs, it seems. What is it? Get ready to learn Memphis. Memphis what? Oh, Memphis, May. I don't get it. I'm from Memphis. Pack your bags. Laker. Okay. Lakers fans go under everything and say that he's the next Laker or whatever. Clippers, I'm so serious. There's literally no one saying Spurs. That makes me a little upset. Buck, Thunder, Laker. Anyways, it will be perfect. I think people just aren't really thinking about it. They're more so focused on, well, the Spurs need a point guard. No. We need a backup center expeditiously, all right? Especially since, I mean, I'm not the biggest believer in, I won't talk about him. He just stays hurt so often. I won't even, it's not even focus on it. But we definitely need this. Anyways, get with you guys later, man. Till next time. Bye.